I try not to make videos like this because I think people might feel like it's punching up, and I really don't like people who do that. That is making kind of false drama just to get somebody else's name who's arguably bigger and more well known involved with your own. If you know me, I've had a lot of quarrels with a lot of influencers over the years, and I've tried never to make specific content about that situation because it's just stupid. It's not going to help me, and it's certainly not going to help anybody who's watching the channel. But this is almost the opposite. If you don't know who Nagi is or what he's done in the WoW community, or you don't know my interactions with him, you might be surprised to hear this, but I was one of his biggest fans, honestly, for a very long time. In Legion, I really wanted to take Bloody K serious. I had just come off a real bad breakup with Holy Paladin, effectively, and I wanted to be a better tank and a better player. And this guy was in Method, one of the best, PvE environments in the world, and he was playing Blood DK at a very high level, like a level that I thought I could learn a lot from. So I did. I learned a lot from him before I was serious about, making this channel work and spending thousands of hours a month on this channel. I was watching him all day, every day. Like a lot of you guys might watch your favorite influencer. Could easily be said that that's how I interacted with him. And I don't really do that. Like if you know me at all, I don't really watch WoW content. And a lot of it's because I'm just too busy, but most of it is frankly because there's nobody out there that I really enjoy watching other than my friends like Cop and Sai and stuff. But he was one of them. He's one of the only people in 15 years of me being a part of this community that I regularly tuned into. Because not only did I feel like he was, slightly entertaining, but also informational, but I felt like he had the right mental state, which is kind of crazy to say that today. So I don't know what else to say other than what the fuck has happened to this guy. Like, I don't expect this to reach him. I'm not that level, but for some reason it did, man. All I could say is, what are you doing, dude? Like, I was your biggest fan. Honestly, a lot of what I do on this tank is because of early influences that I learned from you. And frankly, to see what has happened in the last few weeks is hard to believe. It's like, you know what I mean? Like if suddenly like the New York Yankees were indicted for murder, it's like I follow these guys. I love all of them. And now all of a sudden I'm hearing what I'm hearing, it's like, what? So in case you haven't followed it, this guy makes an add-on called Method Dungeon Tools. It used to be called that. It's not called that anymore. It's called Mythic Dungeon Tools now, because Method is no longer an organization that he's a part of, ironically. But anyway, it's the add-on that I use for all the routes. I made a video on this, okay? I have all the routes here that I've made, and I tried to share them with people, okay? So if you're not aware of what happened here, he's basically bricked the add-on. Like, if you download the update that he just pushed, this add-on will not function anymore. And I don't really understand what he's after here. Here's some screenshots that are posted here. He says, the next MDT update will have completely empty maps. If you want NPC data, you need to be a supporter via Twitch sub or Patreon. How does that even work? First of all, here's another link. I don't even know what this link is meant to be, but it says, now I'm going to do something that I should have done years ago. So I don't really know how this all started, but I'm going to walk you through what I've seen. So he, like I said, I watched him constantly. My first real moment of love for this man was when he had done an entire, I think it was like a 6-hour stream where literally all he did was work on a single weak aura for the second boss in Neltharian's Lair in Legion, the dungeon, the raid, or the dungeon, Mythic Plus dungeon that had a boss that was the boss split into 3, and you had to identify which one was the correct one and kill it or something like that. Okay, it's very similar to in Mistcaller Encounter, in Mist Eterna Scythe. We've had fights like this in Skullman's, and these are this is a deeply complicated mechanic, right? You're supposed to use your brain to figure it out, but he spent hours on some subtle detail coding a weak aura to make it automatically mark which one. Like, you cannot do this. This is like next level shit. Like, I still don't understand how he knows as much as he does about this and how he was able to make this work. And honestly, the way he, like, from what I could tell, he was not classically trained in any of this. He taught himself and learned it from scratch because he's, a high intellect and an extremely skilled player who understands the inner workings of the game. His like backwards, self-replication of knowledge on this topic is honestly exactly what I applied to when I created my Pokemon game. Like, I didn't know anything about it, and I approached what I seemed to be the same way that he approached making add-ons and weak ores. So when I did that, I did it because I had passion. I did it because I loved what I was doing, and like, I didn't make anything myself. Like, it was because of others that I learned and I got better and I made what I made. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's the same. Like, we had the same passion for this, and he was clearly, at least at the time, I felt like doing it to help others. Now I don't know what he's doing, right? So like, then the first time I had like weird thoughts about him. Oh, and also, so like, you know the skin that I use on my bars, like everything that is in my game, I use a custom skin, right? He made that too. So I don't know where he got it or if it was like the Method guys and they all had it, but like, so I was using that too. So from Legion onward, I've used that. People ask me about it, blah, 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 all the time, right? It's from him. Like, I just got it from him. Like, he made it, I used it, and now I distribute it as well, right? So anyway, in Legion, in the beginning of BFA, somebody told me that he was like monetizing that, the skin. Like, in order to get that, you had to be a subscriber to his Twitch channel. And I was like, I have it. You can't monetize it. I already have it. I'm not gonna not give it out. So I was like, that's whatever. I guess it makes sense. A lot of people were doing that in Method and top streams at the time, and people still do that, like, all over the time. Like, oh, if you want my weak wars, you have to become a subscriber. And honestly, fuck that. Like, no, I'm trying to help people. Like, I want people to get better at the game, and if they think my weak wars are gonna help them get better at the game, then I'm gonna give them to them. Like, I'm not gonna make these people who, especially because like a lot of the people who ask about this, like, they don't even know what weak ores are. They can't possibly do this themselves. Like, it's just fucking rude, honestly, to try to be like, hey, this random guy who just came in the stream, I'm not giving it to you, but you can pay me and I'll give it to you. Like, no, dude, I made this for like 10 minutes of effort. It's yours. Okay. Anyway. So I heard that, and then I was like, that's weird. Okay, flash forward to season 2, end of season 2, or middle of season 2, or season 3, actually, in BFA, and they lose the race, or was that season 4? Anyway, Method, there was some drama there at the end of EP. I think they didn't lose the race, but it was like very, very close, and Limit was very, very close on their tail. And in season 2, you might famously know that Limit actually failed to clear the raid before BFA, or before Method cleared it twice. So it was like kind of braggadocious. They're like, we got world first and world second, but of course that's not how world first or second works. It's not about who clears the raid a second time. It's about which guild clears the raid a second time. So anyway, regardless, I thought that was very petty, and he was perpetuating this, like, we got world second, bro. It's like, no, you've already beaten. You can't win the game twice. That's not how competition works. Anyway, but yeah, so that happened, and then in season 3, there was like this drama, and I don't know if it was like the Limit people who were trolling him, but people were like trolling him, and I found out like he was responding like very, very strangely. Like, I was like, wow, this is not what I'd expect from a professional gamer. Like, I mean, where's this coming from? And then I believe it was season 4 when they did actually lose the race that he got really upset. Like, really, like, I don't know, I don't really remember, but I'm thinking like, I must have missed something. I haven't watched the guy all season, the whole expansion, because I literally started trying to do what he was doing, so I can't stream. At the time I was streaming like 25 hours a week playing WoW. It's 80 hours a week. I don't have time to watch him as well. Those days are over. So it's just like, no, I don't know, whatever. I guess he's just really upset. So flash forward to like a week ago, I guess. It's not even really been that long. And I saw a post, Faxi posted this. I'm not 100% sure where he's getting these posts, but it's not like they're doctored, I'm sure. But he posted this clip from the guy's Twitch where I don't really know what spurred it on, but people were seemingly like, "Hey, man, now that you wasted all your fucking time losing to this American guild, when are you gonna get back to updating your add-ons?" Basically, I think that's what the comment. It was very similar. It's quite toxic, but it's clearly trolling, right? You know what I mean? And he went nuts. Like he was like, "Wow, really pissed." Like, holy shit, it was pretty fucking embarrassing. Hyper cringe, as I think Size might have said. But no, yeah, not good. Not a good look. I mean, like, think about if LeBron James, if somebody said that to LeBron James on Twitter, like after he lost in the finals to the Golden State Warriors, like, "Hey, LeBron, now that you're done losing to the best team in the league, when are you gonna get back to making your shoes? I'm trying to buy these shoes." You know what I mean? Obviously not the same because it's purchase money involved, but um, and then he was just like, "You're a fucking," you know what I mean? Like it was like, "Whoa, I thought you were a professional." Like what I'm trying to say here is when you get to the level that this guy is at, Noggie, the fact that he changed his name is another thing. I still can't believe that. I know Naga has some borderline racial connotations, but I still don't understand that. Anyway, the fact is that this guy is a professional video game player. And you gotta be like mentally you have to have the mental fortitude to be able to do that, right? Like you can't just do that. I couldn't do it. No way. I cannot do that. I cannot play under the scrutiny and conditions that they play under. There's no way. It's not even possible. Like it would never work for me. If you've seen me in tough situations, I crack, man. There's times it's not good. And anyway, but I'm very surprised that he got to where he is with that in his head still. Like, what is going on here? I still don't fully understand it. But anyway, so he gets like really, really, really upset on his stream in front of thousands of people, right? I mean, they were already doing some shady shit where they're like turning their stream off because they're losing and shit. It's like, listen, if you're gonna do that, don't do this. Seriously, if for real, like if this is what the race is gonna be, if you're gonna basically stop televising the race because you think that you need every possible trick up your sleeve and nobody could find out about it, then don't participate. Then this isn't a valid competition. You know what I mean? This is just not a valid competition. It'd be like if all of a sudden, like, a golfer was just like, "Hey, don't watch. I'm gonna cheat." You know what I mean? It's like, no, you got to play within the rules, and part of the rules, like tangentially, are we're gonna televise it. You know, like, that's just how it works. Bryson DeChambeau goes off at these camera crews all the time, but he's not trying to get them to stop doing their job. Well, maybe he is. Bad example. Anyway, my point is, I don't like that. Okay, and I definitely don't like this shit. So I don't know what the hell's going on there, but TLDR, he's trying to make this add-on not work anymore, and he's also, I think, trying to make all his weak wars not work anymore. And that's just not cool. Like, for real. Like, I don't know. People are like, "Oh, he has the right to monetize his work," but that can't be what this is about. Like, listen, I don't know what people think goes on with YouTube and Twitch and stuff. Nobody's a millionaire from this. Maybe Asmongold is, but most people out there are not making $1 million a year doing this. Okay, so I'm not trying to say that he's driving Ferraris and shit. But this dude is very affluent. Like, he has a lot of power, okay? Social credit, you know what I mean? He's got a lot of influence. I mean, look at what happened with the Josh dude, right? Like, the fact that the method situation imploded because one dude flexed his power in a very inappropriate direction tells you everything you need to know about these people. They are worshipped by many, and foolishly, obviously, but it's true. So when somebody like this does shit like this is going to have a ripple effect. And honestly, I said this about Method. The whole thing. Method going down as an organization is one of the worst things that ever happened in this game. And for Shadowlands to have recovered from it so well, it's very encouraging to me. Because back in the day when the big influencers like Athene and Swifty and these other people who were like really driving the media of the game kind of stopped playing WoW and stopped being as active with WoW, it really hurt the game. Like, it really hurt the game. So the fact that all of these guys landed on their feet and that Sko also landed on his feet and is still succeeding and that the game doesn't seem to have been like, the competitive element of the game has not been injured by it is very reassuring for me. But then you see shit like this, and it's like, what is going on here, dude? You can't represent this. This is not okay, dude. You can't have a hissy fit on your stream. And the thing is, like, okay, sure, we all have bad days and snap. Like I said, I fail all the time socially, for a variety of reasons. But it's like, it's not who you are. You know what I mean? It's just a bad look, but it's just one thing. You know what I'm saying? But this dude's really accruing a lot of issue. I feel like it's starting to become who he is. And I don't want that to be the case, dude. I love him. I really did. I mean, like, I don't know. I have a memory of him from 4 years ago. So maybe it was me wrong the whole time. But, like, he was putting in mad work. And I always thought it was to help the community. Like, it seemed like he wanted to help people. And you know what? Another thing I'm going to say to praise this guy is he, like, stuck with DK through the thick and thin. Like, he was a monster DK when it was overpowered in Legion. And then he kept playing it when it sucked. Like, it was shit in Season 2 of BFA, and he kept playing it. Granted, he didn't play Blood, but he basically was benched because he was playing a spec that they didn't... Like, one of the 3 specs was not valuable to that raid team. So he was basically benched for, like, multiple tiers. And he was effectively only, like, in because they needed him to be a third tank on occasion. You know what I mean? And I don't know if that's, you know, what to say about that, but when I see all these other flavor of them on 3-roll, you know what I mean? Like, people in that guild have, like, 9 characters that they play, right? But I've never seen this dude not play a DK. Maybe I missed it, but that's kind of respectable to be playing at that high of a level and still maintain your main. So I don't know, but you should be aware of this. This is probably going to cause a lot of problems for me and a lot of problems for other people. But the best way to handle it right now is to not update this add-on. All I could say is I hope he comes to his senses or somebody else does for him. I could see this being one of those situations where somebody else just says, like, fuck this guy, I'm going to start making a better add-on and make it public. And I want to make one thing clear here. I have nothing, like, against anybody trying to monetize their work. This is, like, I feel like there's, like, this holdout here on this topic where people are saying, you're being very selfish if you think he should have worked on this add-on so hard and get nothing back from it. He does. He gets something back from it already, dude. The guy's like a top tier influencer in this game. Like, I'm not going to hear that. Okay, listen, I'm not going to fucking hear that. That dude is making a lot of money and has a lot of influence around this game. And it's not just because of this add-on, but if he didn't want to do it, then he shouldn't have embarked on it. And the way I look at it is, if that's the case, then let somebody else do it. Like, just pass it off. There's got to be thousands of people who would take this project and make it the best it can be. That's what I said during the beta when people were like, well, why is it not being updated? And I was like, I can't understand why it wouldn't be updated. Like, I know they're busy trying to compete and shit, but it's like, this is a fucking big deal. This is not just some, you know what I mean? This is like up there with DBM and Weak Wars and like these top tier add-ons, right? Like, this is not something to just be like, hey, I'm way too busy right now. If you want me to work on it, you got to pay me. Just get it. Just give it to somebody else, dude. Seriously, that's effectively what's going to happen here. He's going to just do this, make a fucking fool out of himself. I hate to see it. I really do. I might be his only defender at this point. I would love to see what the culture around his like sphere of influence is, because I can't imagine that the people in the guild are respecting this. Maybe they are. I don't know. I don't know anything about the situation other than what I've been told. I have not tuned into this dude's stream in years. I have not had any conversation with the guy. I had talked to him in Legion a few times because at the time he was streaming to like 40 people and he's doing like insane things on a spec that I loved. And I was constantly in his chat. We're always conversing. He like openly gave me the thing I'm using to make my bars look different. Like, he was a different person at that point based on what I've seen today. But one way or the other, you should be aware of this, that it's a bad time. I hope he comes out on top of this, because honestly, if it was me in this position, it feels like you need a public apology, honestly. Like, this is dramatic, honestly. This is like, wow, he's kind of shooting himself in the foot here, and I feel like he's lost a lot of the respect that he might have had at some point. And if it was me, I don't know exactly who's in charge of this guild anymore. I don't follow it, this Echo guild. But I know if it's anything like Method, they're trying to run a business. And frankly, I know like the Josh shit was fucked up and whatever, like, you want to say about that. But this is trying to say it's just as bad. Obviously, it's not, but it's pretty fucking bad. Like, this is a really bad look when you got one of the top teams in the world not only being like really petty about failing, but like, I mean, basically cheating, like kind of circumventing the whole purpose of the race, like turning their stream off and shit. And like, clearly stream sniping the other guild to try to steal all their strategies and shit. It's like, listen, if that's what it's about for you guys, then you guys are not competitive players. Like, for real, like you've been twisted. This isn't what sportsmanship is, man. I'm telling you this right now. You don't fucking cheat and bend the rules to win. You just don't do that. Like, why would, you know what I mean? Like, why would you do this? I had a lot more respect for them, and I feel like I've lost some of it. But so, like, for that to be happening already, and then this shit to be happening where somebody's effectively trolling them on the internet. Like, I mean, listen, this is why I don't stream on Twitch, right? The kind of shit that gets said on that platform is just retarded, honestly. It's just low IQ shit, and very spiteful and rude. So how could you not be used to it? If you're like a proper Twitch streamer, you got to be used to that, right? The question is, how did this even happen? Because I can't imagine this dude was just reading the chat. I don't know anything about his streaming habits now. But if you're racing and trying to beat a team at the highest level in PvE, you're probably not reading the chat like I might do or like others might do, right? Like, you're probably paying attention to the game more. So how did this even happen? I still don't get it. At first I was like, oh, well, he had a bad day. You know what I mean? But now it seems like he's taking it very serious. And it's very concerning to me because I use a lot of his stuff. So for some reason, if this ever gets to Nagi, all I say, man, is, yo, you were a badass dude. I haven't followed you recent years. I'm sure you're still a badass dude. Don't do this. Just please rethink. It's hopefully it was never about money in the first place. You're doing something that I think a lot of people would be blessed to do. So am I. You know what I mean? We all are. Everybody who's playing this game and making any dollar a dollar, even if you're paying for your own sub just by streaming. You know what I mean? You get to play the game for free. There's a lot of people in a lot of positions who they look up to you. They look up to everybody in this position, and I feel like we owe them more than this. Like, you want to help them or not? If you didn't, and I'm not going to hear this, like, you wanted to help them at one point. I know this for a fact, man. I know everybody in this top level, esports quality play wants to help others, even if it's not like the plebs or whatever. You want to say, try to have some bravado about it, like. But you don't play this game as a cohesive unit and not have empathy for others, right? So I know it for sure. Deep down, I don't know what's happened recently, but all I'm saying is just rekindle that. Realize that this is not the right way. And there's going to be, and the reason I'm saying this is because it's not about me. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? I'm going to, by hook or by crook, I'm going to get what I want done in this game, even if I'm not as good as others at it. But there's a lot of people who watch, people, even like me, not the best player in the world, but people like you and him, whoever is watching this, Nagi and people in that guild and that influence, and they're trying to learn and they're trying to get better. And you're really breeding a very, very bad attitude for people. Like, this is not healthy for anybody. So I hope that this will get reconciled. But if it doesn't, I will have to reconcile it myself. I've not updated the add-on. I probably will not be updating the add-on. And frankly, if I have to learn how to code LUA to keep the add-on going in a stolen state, I will be doing that. And if he doesn't like that, or other people don't like that, we'll go to war. Like, I'm not gonna let you do this. No matter what. This isn't gonna happen. This is too big of a community resource, and it has helped millions of people who are not as skilled as even. I'm not trying to say I'm a good player, okay? But I have a lot of tools in front of me, and I'm able to play a lot. And I believe that this add-on is crucial to help others get better. I've made entire videos around it. Great work. If you or anybody listening to this has contributed to it, Great work. Just think about who it hurts, especially because a lot of people don't know that this is happening. People have downloaded this add-on probably already tonight, and they are so confused at why there's no mops on this fucking add-on. That is so unbelievably rude. It is unreal. So I just wanted to alert you guys, the viewers, about this. And I hate to make videos like this, but had to be done. So thank you for watching. We'll see what comes of it.